I just spent 7 days on Icon of the Seas, the newest and the largest cruise ship in the world. With high demand for cruises on this mega ship, Royal Caribbean has been charging an unprecedented price point, and in some cases, prices higher than equivalent cruises on luxury lines. In this video, I'll be reviewing my cruise on Icon of the Seas, so stay tuned to find out if all the hype is justified. Coming up next. Hi fellow travelers, Ken from Ken Travels 360 here. As you can see, I'm currently on Icon of the Seas, and as this wonderful cruise is coming to an end, I want to give you an honest review of the ship so that you can better decide if it's worth spending your money to cruise on this ship. If you're new to this channel, I share tips I've learned on my travels along with honest reviews of flights, cruises and hotels. Let's start off with the facilities on this ship. Much has been made of the Thrill Island neighborhood of Icon of the Seas, and in particular its Category 6 water park. I've tried all these slides here and I can assure you they live up to the hype. They are really exciting. The drop slide frightening boat is particularly awesome. I tried it a few times. If you're on a family vacation, then your kids are gonna love them. Heck, even adults will enjoy them. Next, I will talk about Chill Island, another neighborhood that has received lots of attention. The infinity pool at the Hideaway, Swim and Tonic, the first swim-up bar at sea, and the Royal Pool, the biggest pool at sea, are all great settings for Instagram photos. But in reality, they are all really crowded, particularly during sea days. There isn't really any pool that you can really swim in, such as the sheer amount of people present. Interestingly, the pools are so small that they don't even run the belly flop competition on this ship. There are plenty of sun lounges available, but finding one near a pool is nigh on impossible. Next, I want to talk about an important aspect of cruising, the food. We've mostly stuck to the complimentary food in Windjammer and the main dining room. And as others has found, the food quality in these venues is elevated compared to other ships. There are two nights with lobster tails in the main dining room, and the New York strip steaks have been rather good quality. On the boarding day, we found things like lobster tails, scallop, and even filet mignon in Windjammer. This is totally unprecedented, and it remains to be seen if this will be continued. We tried the food in Aquadome Market, Royal Caribbean's first food court concept, and unfortunately, the food tasted exactly like those found in a food court. The food was all prepared and the ingredients were of low quality. There are many specialty dining venues, but in a worrying trend of Royal's attempt to maximize revenue, there are now venues where things are not covered by the ultimate dining package or deluxe drinks package. The Empire Supper Club charges a $130 supplement even if you have the dining package. The milkshakes at Deserted Milkshake Bar are not included in the deluxe beverage package, and there isn't a Johnny Rockets for you to grab a milkshake otherwise. At Chop's Grill, after the cover charge, they now invite you to pay for a better cut. Having said that, the selection of complimentary dining options on Icon of the Seas is impressive, with several surprisingly good choices like Surfside Eatery and Park Cafe. And with the better quality of food served at the buffet and main dining room, it was easy to dine exclusively at the three restaurants without spending a dime. However, if you are looking to indulge, Icon certainly offers a wide variety of specialty dining venues that cater to different tastes and budgets. Another area where I think Royal Caribbean is seriously overcharging is the new attraction Crown's Edge, which is part rope course and part zip wire. While it sounds quite thrilling, the whole thing finishes in 90 seconds. Originally, Royal was pricing this at $90 for this experience, which is frankly ridiculous. They then lowered the price to $49 or so. I then decided that, well, I probably won't be coming back to this ship for a long while, so I should try it. It was exciting, but it shouldn't really be priced so expensively. Now, let's move on to entertainment. Besides the usual headliner shows, there are three main signature shows on this ship. The Wizard of Oz is the main musical here. Royal Caribbean is known for excellent shows with high production values, and Oz is no exception. They even had Dorothy flying around the theater above us. The new indoor Aquadome Theater means that aqua shows are now unaffected by weather. If you are familiar with the aqua shows on Oasis-class ships, then you will find similar quality here. One thing that stood out for me was the waterfalls. It was so dramatic. Now, just like the Oasis-class ship, Icon of the Sea has an ice skating rink called Absolute Zero. And they run a show here called Starburst Elemental Beauty. It's a top-notch show again. For both of these shows, make sure you make a reservation on the cruise planner when it becomes available. And even after that, make sure you arrive 45 minutes ahead of showtime if you want to secure the best seats. Overall, the shows on Icon continue the tradition of Royal Caribbean producing excellent entertainment on their cruise ships. The cruise director and the entertainment crew work incredibly hard for all the events on board. On Icon of the Seas, you'll find more parties than you can possibly attend. Crowd favorites like the 70s Disco Inferno and Ahoy parades on the Royal Promenade are always a hit. However, Icon of the Seas has introduced a new high-energy event called the One Hit Wonders Dance Party, and it was absolutely fantastic. Adding to the excitement, the new venue Absolute Zero also doubles as a disco thanks to its thousands of lumens of lights. The projection party resolution is definitely not to be missed. With such a vibrant party scene, there's always something exciting happening on board. Now you might be wondering, is Icon of the Seas too big? Does it feel overcrowded with over 7,000 passengers? Surprisingly, it doesn't. This is largely due to the clever design of the ship, which uses the concept of neighborhoods to disperse crowds. For example, the Surfside neighborhood focuses on families with young kids, offering numerous activities and amenities, including a baby pool and the Surfside Eatery. This setup allows these young families to stay in this area without needing to venture far. Additionally, the abundance of activities and venues ensures passengers are naturally scattered throughout the ship. Another reason it doesn't feel overcrowded is the use of destination elevators. As I use them daily in my office building, I didn't think much of them until my recent Alaska cruise on Royal Princess, where traditional elevators were a constant hassle, stopping at every deck. It reminded me how well designed Icon of the Seas truly is. Speaking of Alaska, my cruise and land tour there was amazing. I'll be posting videos about it next, so make sure to subscribe to my channel for more adventures. Now let's talk about the stateroom. We booked a forward sea view cabin, and while we have found it smaller than balcony cabins that we've always booked before, it's just adequate for 2 persons. We somehow made it work. And even though it's right at the bow, and we did feel some rocking at times, the ship still has very good stabilizer, and I never feel seasick here. I found the design of the bathroom much improved. The shower feels roomier, and it no longer feels claustrophobic compared to the ones on other older royal ships. Next, let's talk about Royal Promenade. The addition of the Pearl is a visually stunning feature, creating a focal point for all the parties and parades. I'm also thrilled that they've removed the sales counters from the middle, making the Royal Promenade much wider, and as a result, foot traffic just flows so much better now. Finally, I'm gonna talk about the gym. The fitness center on Icon is exceptional. is spotlessly clean and offers a huge range of equipment. If you have a fitness routine to maintain, you have no excuse. The gym is that well equipped. However, I do find the entrance a bit hidden. From Deck 5, you have to access it from the ship's jogging track, while the entrance at Deck 6 seems to be away from everything else. I have to say, given the huge variety of things to do on Icon of the Seas, I could hardly find any time to work out. Overall, this has been a great cruise, probably the best cruise we've had with Royal Caribbean. Is it worth the extra premium to go on this ship? I would say yes, but you have to understand what you're paying for. If all the new facilities sound like a great fit for you, then you'll enjoy this ship. I hope you found this review useful. If you haven't watched my previous daily vlogs of this cruise on Icon of the Seas, why don't you watch one of these videos next? See you over there. Ciao.